What's going on, fellas? Pre-show. How y'all doing today?
I'm tired, man.
Another day. I can't figure out how to get the UndR pod background.
It's okay. It's about time we changed it. So don't worry, we'll get you all settled soon enough.
Thanks.
I'm excited. I wish more people interact with us. We got a lot of important things to talk about today.
We do. Where should we start? What's on your mind? Let's start off by that. What you want to talk about first? There's no order here.
I want to talk about Deion.
Deion, how you feeling about that?
I recently reactivated my Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Put me in touch with the Commons folks, their thoughts on certain situations. And there's some good arguments being made, and I could see, more or less, what's the elephant in the room? I feel like the Black community is a bit upset, feel like he's abandoned Black people leaving an HBCU. That's pretty much it, right? We agree that's the gist of it?
To a certain extent. I think some of it is they feel like he's abandoned them. And then the clip that I sent you guys was more so people saying that, the education at a Black institution is not valued as much as it is at a white institution. From the comments from Shannon Sharp, saying if he knew what he knew now, he wouldn't have went to a HBCU. But I digress.
What can you explain that a little bit more? What do you mean by the education is not valued by just the community or by an individual?
By individuals, like most people, whether it's an athlete or whether it's just, I think I was just reading the comments from. I'm gonna share it to the screen in a second, but the gist that I got from it was they were basically going after Shannon Sharp on his comments about Deion Sanders. When he defended him for leaving, which I understand him leaving, but I think when he doubled down and said if he had to make the decision again, if he knew what he knew now, he wouldn't have went to a HBCU. So somebody in the comments was going back and forth with him, and she basically was saying, are you saying that the education at a Black institution is not as valuable as an education at a predominantly white institution?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's not just that, because there's a historical precedent that's been set. Most athletes that are good usually get landed by predominantly white universities. And then when a coach of that magnitude is landed, it's kind of like expected in the Black community. Like, man, dude, we haven't gotten this much shine. You've been here. Why would you leave to go to a predominant white institution when you've brought so much to this HBCU that you've been at? But at the same time, I understand, like Deion himself said, a coach either gets fired or uplifted or promoted. In this case, he was doing such a good job, he got promoted. Hopefully one day he'll do so well that he'll get to coach on the NFL himself. Mm-hmm. So I'm not holding it against him, but I see both parts of the argument. If that answers your question.
I mean, for me, I'm a white man, obviously. And when Deion said that, more or less it comes down to money, he needed to take care of his family, his staff. And, they did a great job. They deserve more money. Basically, that institution, might be because of some systemic things, whatever, doesn't have enough money to pay these people what they deserve. So that's where I was felt, take care of your family. You can still go help. The team's going to be predominantly Black. You can still go help young Black men. But I was like, that's why I was okay with it.
I hear you. What are your thoughts, Drew?
As far as the whole HBCU thing, I think we all kind of struggle with that as far as like selection of university. You kind of pick just either being able to like, cultivate. I mean, we had one close to us, Lincoln. Lincoln wasn't too far.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, how I was at Lincoln and you know how I was in Mizzou. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, Shout out to Shaq, Lincoln Grass. Shout out to Jarrett, Kyle's brother. You know what I'm saying? Like he never promised him anything. He got him like 3 years, 20-something wins, swag championship, went out on top. That's kind of how you're supposed to do it. I don't know. To me, he did what he was supposed to do. I wouldn't if I was a Jackson State alum, uh, I wouldn't. Shout out to DJ Dave, DJ 314. You already know. Uh, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, Deion Sanders is leaving. It should be like you said, oh, boy got promoted. Like, good for Buddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't even
That brings up a different thing that no one's talked about, is that Deion Sanders is obviously a good coach. He's getting this promotion. Why? I think he's better than probably over half the coaches in these big programs. Why is he going to Colorado? Why? I think he's more qualified than the Mizzou coach, for example, or the Kansas coach. Was being at an HBCU, did that stigmatize him in a way where it hurts his head coaching possibilities?
I feel like it was a decent enough jump to go from the SWAC to the Big 12. You know what I mean?
Well, I
Like
think
he might have one more stop. He might get a big school. I heard he wants Florida State. You know what I mean? But other than that, he could press for the NFL. Like if Colorado goes well, he could press.
but that's the problem though, y'all. Like when we think of the Jeff Saturdays that really didn't have any coaching experience and jumped straight to coaching at Indiana Colts, but the black players or the black individuals who have to do it got to prove themselves. They have to have a track record. They got to see how they're doing and how many wins they've won before they finally get a shot. Like, I don't think it was on accident that it was only an HBCU that gave him a coaching job. Nobody else was willing to give Deion that chance. And now that they're seeing that he's a leader of men and he's doing things, now Colorado is willing to give him one. And pretty soon somebody else is going to be willing to give him one. But I guess my point is most Caucasian candidates don't have to jump through the same hurdle. And it sucks, but that's life.
I mean, Jeff Saturday isn't who's like a good center that I can't think of. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like yeah. Like it's not like Olin Kreutz was like, oh, let me get to teaching. Like Jeff Saturday was Peyton Manning's center. You know what I'm saying? For like a long time. He's good friends with Jim Irsay. He was doing analysis for ESPN. Not that that is any qualification, but like it's not like he was doing absolutely nothing. Now, I think he was coaching high school when they called him up, but at the same time, it's like, is Deion that? If Deion is Deion that good of friends with Jerry Jones? Probably not. Is Deion that good of friends with what's his name? Art whatever, owner of the Falcons. You know what I mean? Like I think that's still more that personal, and that's just because I know a lot of Colts people. Eh, I yes, I do think that obviously we get the short end of the stick when it comes to coaching. No shit. But I just think I don't know. I don't think that is particularly just because it's who Jeff Saturday is to the Colts. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not like, you know what I mean? It's no, he doesn't have the coaching experience, but literally he's like in the Colts Hall of Fame, probably easily going to the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? So it's not just an anybody. But same thing, Deion's not just anybody. He should have the right to coach who he wants to. And I think that I think he did a good thing for Jackson State. You know what I mean? And I think he might have stayed 1 year too long, but I mean, hey, he got the SWAC championship, so I guess not. You know what I mean? So to me, it's just the next step. He could go straight to the NFL. If Colorado goes well, he goes straight to the NFL if he wants to. I think that it's also about what Prime want to do. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? If Prime want to do it, I can trust Prime. You know what I mean?
And with that said, I mean, if you ask me, that's a lot of traveling. And if you're interested in traveling, let's go ahead and talk about item travel. They are local, family-owned, and operated business of family and friends, offering a rich, authentic, living like a local experience. Hand-picked adventures, authentic experience. And for more information, they can be reached at iadamtravel@gmail.com. Like to add anything, Drew?
I'm still gonna be doing the tour guide for the London trip in August. Please check out the website for all the information. $9.99, everything included. If you're trying to go check out London, England, get your vibe on, see if Top Boy is a real life for you or not. You know what I'm saying? Teach you how to chase them peas. We might even talk to you about trading in foreign markets. You know what I'm saying? We got it.
So moving along, the next, are we going to talk about Rillo and Reggie today?
We'll do it real quick.
Oh,
it was last week.
Should.
It was
Says
the last
in the
week.
playoffs.
Yeah, congratulations to both y'all making the Rillos playoffs. I definitely fucked myself up with the excuse me. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I messed up. I made the schedule playing everybody in your division twice instead of everybody in the league once. So it's a little bit of an asterisk with this year, but congratulations to Bola. Nonetheless, good luck to both of y'all in the Rillos. It's still a little hefty purse for the winner of that. But these Reggie playoffs, man, this is
Well, Bola, I'm just gonna call this out in the show. I hope your opponent is not watching. I sorry, I accidentally clicked screen share. Ignore that. You need a defense, Bola, and you were in a nail biter this week, so all your fans can cheer for Bola and says he's finished third on the year. You got to set your lineup, put some waivers in. Okay, you got work to do.
What's wrong with my defense?
If they're on bye,
Oh,
that's what's wrong with them.
they not playing. That's what's wrong.
I get to work, bro. I get to work. But can I have two defenses? Can I get another one without giving one up?
Yes. Yes.
And
yes.
the strategy tip, that's a great question, Bola. It's often good maybe to roll with three defenses in the playoffs. Trim all the fat off your team. If you don't think a guy is going to play with you, you can look at the next 2 weeks. You don't see him playing in those 2 weeks, get rid of him and pick up a defensive matchup. You know, obviously everyone's probably already thinking about this. Look 2 weeks at a time, 3 weeks at a time.
Touche.
Yeah, New Orleans got the week off, so you need to pick somebody up if you're trying to win.
I got you. I have been winning by, I think I won by 0.5 points last time, or 5 points this last week.
That sounds good.
Oh man.
9-4. That's a solid win percentage your first year out, bro. Good for you.
I just let the app do its thing. I did
This guy,
bare
bro.
minimum.
Who made it? Zed, Kenny, Reich, Brian, all guys I know from working. That's some dope stuff. And then Dave, Mr. Quiet man. Don't talk to nobody. Auto Draft King. Dave, Sam.
If you win, Bola, it's gonna be me versus you. If I win too, going down.
Oh, playoff. Shit talk on the pod.
You don't want this smoke, man.
I see some holes on your lineup. We'll just say that.
This guy, bro.
But the Reggie's getting heated, man. I made it in the Reggie last game of the season. It's a miracle, Drew. I don't know if you want to recap the drama.
There was a lot of drama. People was trying to avoid bets and some more shit. But straight up and down, like it's all in good fun, man. It's all just shit talk. You know what I'm saying? People shouldn't feel that much pressure trying, like, you know. But some late wins. Actually, Dane ended up outscoring Ben the last week, so he would have made it in even if he lost. So actually, when he beat Blake, he got himself some room. Other than that, it's gonna be me and Mike. Then it'll be Mikey and Dane. It's gonna be Daryl, Rico, and then Miss Amy and Steve. That is gonna be who made it into the Reggie. $1,000 on the line, man. So and if y'all trying to get down with the Rillos, the Reggie, or the Roaches next year, you can email or message me on my little.
No, your league don't have its own podcast. You know that don't. Okay.
Yeah, whatever little office league you in, y'all running 10 men, 10 men, no tight end.
You can look. Bowler don't even know his team's on by. It's easy money, man.
No.
Take his money.
But yeah. And then
I
if enough
usually
people
look
join,
at
we might have to.
Wednesday or Thursday before the game, man. I got two under two, man. I ain't got time.
And then if enough people sign up, we might even have to initiate the Ashtray League. You know what I'm saying? Take it all the way down to there. But we'll see how many people signed up. You're trying to get down.
I think I know why Drew's so quiet today.
Why is that?
Why is that?
Joe Burrow might be leading the MVP race.
You disappeared.
No, I'm not. Surprise! I ain't worried about that shit.
I mean, that was a good ass game. I don't know if you caught it all, Bowling.
I saw some of it.
It was I mean, Cincinnati, you know, I think it's the past 3 meetings they've won, obviously. But it really, I was surprised. It's like they have the formula. Somehow Kelsey wasn't involved. They ran the ball, kept Mahomes off the field. It's like the standard thing. We all go back. The quarterbacks that are great, you keep them off the field, you got a chance to win.
That's how you win any football game. but you know.
Well, no, you keep Baker Mayfield on the field, for example, you have a better chance of winning. You know,
but that's the thing. Baker takes himself off the field. So no, but yeah, there were some key plays. It was a tight game. If you've noticed, that's literally the only way the Chiefs lose is like these like nail biters. Maybe there's a turnover late. Maybe somebody misses a field goal. Maybe somebody fumbles that shouldn't. Or maybe your defense played like it has played for the last 5 years and hadn't played this whole season. We gave up the second most yards we gave up all season, only had 1 sack. And you already know the number one way to stop Joe Burrow is to sack him.
Beyond all these excuses, I got a question for you.
What's popping?
What I want you as a super homer, what are you most worried about?
Most worried about?
About the team in the playoffs. What's the biggest weakness you think?
Just judging off last game, every problem that we had last year, but that wasn't us for the first, you know what I'm saying? For the first 11 games. So honestly, and then, because that's the thing about Bucker missing the kick too. Even if we make the kick, it only ties the game. It didn't win the game. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And they kind of let us back in the game when we got a sack on second down with 2 minutes left in the game. That's what opened it up for us and, you know, gave us a ball back. Some people think that we shouldn't have taken the ball out of Mahomes' hands, but he said he'd have trusted Bucker, and I'm going to trust him too. It's like I said, it's going to be similar. It's just like last season. Okay, the Bengals got us in the regular season at home by 3. Let's see if they can make the playoffs, and when it matters, let's see if they can pull it together again. Because everybody's like, oh, and they didn't have Joe Mixon. Shemazi P. Ryan, he ran about what Joe Mixon would have ran at his best. So, same difference. I still think the game goes down the same way. I'm really just worried about penalties because up until that game, we were the 3rd least penalized team in the league. So it was a lot of unusual penalties, roughing the passer, pass interference, defensive holding.
Stepping around the question, man. Penalties, all these things.
I mean, it's all what I'm worried about is shit.
One thing, man. What's the critical thing y'all need to improve? You know, what
pass rush. Pass rush.
I agree.
We were 4th in the league. We were 4th in the league in sacks coming into that game, and we got 1. So it's just if we don't get the rush like we've been getting, we're not gonna be good.
Hey man, out of respect for Bola here, you know, I know you're gonna say something about it, but I like Cincinnati as an underdog. They came back from the bottom. They came from the bottom. They came back.
Bola, how many Bola? Because here's what
I like that age, man.
No, Bola. Yeah. How were they the underdog when they were beating us by 11 and we fought back and was winning?
Ooh, you got to be right there.
But it's like I said, he love to watch. He try to get under their skin, but he don't realize it don't matter, bro.
They had a worse
Because
record.
we got to play the
started
Broncos twice.
Hmm.
We get to play the Broncos twice. We ain't worry about it. Huh?
You guys touched on a topic I wanted us to. I don't think I put it on. Well, no, it's on the list. We can talk about it now. Baker Mayfield. They say the Rams have picked him up off of waivers on Tuesday, and they're thinking about starting him Thursday.
Oh, this is a great topic.
What do y'all think about that?
I think Sean McVay has no idea what he's doing. And I think that I've been saying to anyone who knows me personally, I've been the biggest hater on Sean McVay for a long time. I think their Super Bowl last year was extremely fluky, and I hate to say I was proved right by their performance this year. And I think that with a struggling team, his coaching is showing. Deion Sanders is a better coach than Sean McVay. I'm just going to throw that out there right now. Someone can say it better.
The disrespect. He did take a team at the age of what, 32 to the Super Bowl and won?
I mean, that was the team. They
But
had.
you know why they won, right?
Why? Why they win?
Because Mahomes had one bad half of football.
Yeah.
That's it.
They beat the team that beat you.
I disagree with you, but I hear you.
They should have lost to the Bengals and they would have lost to the Chiefs. Biggest facts.
The biggest thing is they should have lost to the
I still
49ers.
disagree with you, but I hear you.
The Rams,
Shout
they've
out
looked
to Von
bad.
Miller. Enjoy the couch, buddy.
There's not one aspect of the Rams team that's looked good this year. The run game's been trash.
The worst fall off in the history of the NFL.
That
worst.
What is it? They had a 6-game losing streak. That's the worst losing streak from a previous Super Bowl winner ever. And that team, which I personally don't like the players on their team, it's all these guys who try to do the LeBron thing, take pay cuts and win a championship, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? It ain't working. They suck.
Speaking of sucking, the 49ers have lost their quarterback, and I wanted to share this with y'all while we're on the topic.
Is that their new quarterback?
No. Something else. If I can get my video to play. Hold on.
My name's Joe Montana.
I mean, straight up, do you think that this team can win the Super Bowl with Purdy at the helm? Or
you know what? If he does what he did last week, yeah. I mean, the team's talented defensively. And I think last week, I don't know if it's changed, but last week they were number one. They were ranked number one in the NFL. And, you know, we won a couple times with our defense, won get championships, as they say, with when I was playing. And we had great defenses. And so don't be afraid to put a little pressure on them. Just get himself in a rhythm. And that offense does that for you. And heck, you got McCaffrey and Kittle and Debo. And that receiving core is pretty good. So let them work.
So he basically said they can win Super Bowl with, I think his name is Brock Purdy at the quarterback. What y'all think about?
Basically he said Jimmy ain't shit.
Yeah.
He said all you gotta do is come in and not mess up.
Yep.
It's a good football team. It's not the most exciting football, but you know what? They fly under the radar. I've been talking about them for a while. It's a great coach. They play playoff winning football. They're going to run the ball. They're going to keep their Mahomeses off the field. Their defense is stout and opportunistic. I like them. And if they're in the playoffs, you better watch out. They can win any football game.
What happened when we played them like 3 weeks ago?
It wasn't the playoffs. What happened last week? You lost to Cincinnati.
It wasn't in the playoffs. It wasn't in the playoffs.
I'm just saying. We're talking about playoff football here.
Well, I remember we beat them in the Super Bowl too, but that might not count either.
Well, speaking of not being in the playoffs, Deshaun Watson returned. The Browns. And they beat the Texans.
Luckily.
What y'all think about that?
The NFL is rigged. How they you
Right.
get how long I ain't never heard nobody get suspended a odd number of games, 11. They was like, oh, you can come back against the
He
Texans.
self-imposed a couple games, right? That's what it was.
Yeah, but it's awful convenient that his first game back is against the Texans in Texas.
Right.
I mean, dude didn't play football for 2 years. Like,
He didn't look so bad that it was like, you know what I'm saying?
And
It was like, oh my God, what is he doing? But he doesn't look good.
it's gonna be rough, and especially for the rest of the year. And hopefully, everyone deserves a second chance. I guess I hope he didn't fully sexually assault people to all these allegations. If he did, then he probably doesn't deserve to play football. But I don't know. Let's see what happens.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And with that said, let's wrap up the pre-show. Stay tuned. Subscribe below. Thank you.
Go Chiefs.